Welcome to Light. I've been gone again for a couple days. Number one reason is because my grandmother was hospitalized again, and there was a severe risk that she may have gotten COVID-19, which is actually going to be related to the press conference we're going to be watching here. But thankfully, she doesn't have that. She does not have COVID-19. She's doing really bad with her miniature seizures and strokes that she's having that she didn't always have. So we're working really hard over the clock on trying to figure out what that is. But number two reason is because I've been trying to sit back and pay real close attention and wade through what all the bullshit with this the possibility of maybe can Trump actually steal this thing. And I have come to the conclusion that overwhelmingly, no, he cannot. And he knows he cannot at this point as well. As we will basically see coming up here. He almost admits that he knows he cannot. Minus all his crazy social media posturing and the million MAGA march that was like 8 to 12,000 people. Everybody pretty much seems to agree on around about that number. But yeah, I'm back. And I'm better than ever. We're going to go back to probably daily uploads / streams, depending on how my internet does. But we're back at it, baby. And we're going to be getting right into this. So this is Donald Trump's press conference from, I think, 2 days ago. And in this, first of all, he just, oh my God, more misinformation about the horrifying plague that we're all dealing with. And second, and how he's the best thing ever. I've seen like about 4 minutes of this. I've not seen all of it, but I've seen like a little bit of it on Twitter where, like people are kind of clipping out the parts that's like, is this Trump's version of a concession? But anyway, let's get right into it, huh? Get my headphones on real quick. Okay. Here we go. Let's see what old Trumpy Trump has to say on his way out the door.
In the past 9 months, my administration has initiated the single greatest mobilization in U.S. history, pioneering, developing, and manufacturing therapies and vaccines in record time. Numbers like nobody's seen before.
Never.
No medical breakthrough of this scope and magnitude has ever been achieved this rapidly, this quickly, and we're very proud of it, and I had tremendous help from the military, generals, admirals, and many of the great people at the White House. Operation Warp Speed is unequaled and unrivaled anywhere in the world. And
okay, so this doesn't really have much to do with what he's saying yet, but can we just acknowledge the fact that this motherfucker looks like a depressed fucking corpse zombie? And like, I guess they forgot to put as much of like, his like yellow hair dye in because like it's like a little weird white little wisp up there, little ghost wisp coming off of his depressed fucking corpse. So like, look at him, dude. Seriously, this is insane. He's fucking like his eyes are sunken in like he's fucking down. This is the best pandemic response we've ever seen in the world. And we're looking at very bigly how to win this election still. I mean, dude, goddamn. I don't have empathy for maniacs that much, but you're making me feel some empathy here even. Jesus, this is so sad.
leaders of other countries have called me to congratulate us on what we've been able to do, and we've helped many countries with their ventilators and all of the problems they were having, and I'd like to congratulate everyone involved in this effort. It's been an incredible effort. As a result of Operation Warp Speed, Pfizer announced on Monday that its China virus vaccine is more than 90% effective.
That's what they announced on Monday? The China virus vaccine is almost done completed. Like, dude, you're ridiculous. Oh my God. The China virus. He didn't really say it like that very much. He's depressed, dude. Like, where's my China? Now it's the China vaccine of Pfizer is almost done.
This far exceeds any and all expectations. Nobody thought they'd get to that level. And we have others coming which we think will be at equal level, maybe more if that's possible. In July, my administration reached an agreement with Pfizer to provide $1.95 billion to support the mass manufacturing and distribution of 100 million doses, with the option to purchase a total of 600 million doses shortly thereafter. Our investment will make it possible for the vaccine to be provided by Pfizer free of charge. Pfizer said it wasn't part of Warp Speed, but that turned out to be an unfortunate misrepresentation. They are part.
This was a German vaccine. It wasn't part of Warp Speed. Warp Speed is a U.S. act, a U.S. governmental act. Pfizer is a U.S. company that is buying this from a German scientist or group of scientists. It's not a misrepresentation. It just simply wasn't part of your administration's act on this. What?
That's why we gave them the $1.95 billion and
$1.5 billion. How much money is that? Jesus Christ!
It was an unfortunate.
No wonder we're in
mistake
debt, huh?
They said that. We will work to secure an emergency use authorization, which should be coming down extremely soon, and my administration will then coordinate the distribution of the vaccine, and it will be approved. I think, again, it will be approved very, very quickly, we hope. The average development timeline for the vaccine, including clinical tests and manufacturing, can take 8 to 12 years. Through Operation Warp Speed, we're doing it in less than 1 year. If you had a different administration with different people, what we've done would have taken, in my opinion, 3, 4, 5 years.
Oh yeah, if Biden was in here, let me just tell you, we wouldn't have a vaccine until the turn of the century. Okay, my administration got it done in 1 year. He would have gotten it done in 1 millennia. Let me just tell you, believe me, dude, it's so sad. Like, oh my fucking god, like, his fucking, like, cocksure, like, everything I do is great manner is, like, it is melted away into sad fucking whining about, like, and he's not even doing it like he used to, man. Like, used to, he would, like, go the fuck at people on this kind of shit, and, like, now he's just very sadly, like, flailing around the room, attempting to, like, in his dying fucking breath, like, swat futilely at a few things. Like, it's just so fucking bad, dude. Oh my fucking god.
Would have been in the FDA forever. This is 5 times faster than the fastest prior vaccine development in history. 5 times faster. Say it again, 5 times faster. Nobody can believe it, actually.
What the fuck is this, Sesame Street? Like, we know how to say it. And by the way, it's not necessarily proven at all that it's 5 times faster, but even if it was proven that it's 5 times faster, what the fuck was that weirdness of 5 times faster? Say it again, 5 times faster. It's 5 times like, what?
3 other vaccines are also in the final stages of trial. They'll arrive within a few weeks, and they will also be mass-produced, and the delivery will be very rapid. We're ready to go. The vaccine will be...
I hope it fucking will, because your lack of any kind of at all response has killed 240,000 people and will likely kill 200 more thousand. I mean, I hope that this fucking vaccine does get here like yesterday, because you haven't done anything the entire time, my friend.
Distributed to frontline workers, the elderly, and high-risk Americans immediately. It will be a matter of weeks. Get out very, very much ahead of schedule. Any schedule that I said we're going to be far ahead of that. We know that this virus primarily targets older populations and those with underlying health conditions, while over 99.98% of those under the age of 50 make a full and quick recovery by giving.
That is the case, let me just tell you, of any disease. Okay? That is not a special COVID thing. The fact that elderly people who have pre-existing conditions are weaker to this disease is true of any disease in history. Yet again, more downplaying of the fucked response to this virus.
The vaccine to high-risk individuals right away will dramatically reduce hospitalizations and deaths. Case levels are high, but a lot of the case levels are high because
hospitals are drowning right now, buddy. They are drowning. Where I live, there's literally, they hit their max capacity like a couple weeks ago. What are they going to do in a month when it keeps going higher? This isn't a case. We do many. There's many cases. We do many testing. You can't keep saying that when literal physical reality is disagreeing with you. When hospitals are overflowing, they don't even know what to do anymore. This isn't even a lack of PPE anymore. This is a lack of room. There's not enough room for all the COVID patients, my bud. You might want to start fucking taking something seriously for once.
Of the fact that we have the best testing program anywhere in the world. We've developed the most and the best tests, and we test far more than any other country, so it shows, obviously, more cases.
Wrong.
By vaccinating the elderly and the high risk, we will effectively end this phase of the pandemic and allow seniors to reclaim their golden years, the golden years of their lives, which is so incredible. And it's about time that they can have those golden years. Again, this process is starting.
They don't get those golden years when they're dying of a disease you're fucking refusing to acknowledge or control. Those golden years don't. That doesn't just mean let's not lock down, okay? If we lock down the golden years, they turn into bronze years. Believe me, they won't have any years if they're dead. They won't have any years of any metal if they're dead.
Right away, millions of doses will soon be going out the door. They're all ready.
You'll soon be going out the door.
For that final approval. As soon as April, the vaccine will be available to the entire general population, with the exception of places like New York State, where, for political reasons, the governor decided to say, and I don't think it's good politically. I think it's very bad from a health standpoint, but he wants to take his time on the vaccine. He doesn't trust where the vaccine's coming from. These are coming from the greatest.
And you wonder why he lost. That is psychotic. So he's saying that we possibly won't be sending this vaccine to New York because Cuomo said, like anybody with a reasonable fucking head on their shoulders said, I just want to make sure it goes through the FDA's trials of security. Make sure this vaccine goes through all the clinical trials to make sure it's right. Once it does that, I'll be happy to give it to everybody. That's not him saying that he doesn't trust where it's coming from. So, I mean, he doesn't trust it. And, maybe I just... What a little fucking kid. What an obvious little kid in a 74-year-old man's body. When somebody mentioned to me that they need to send psychiatrists and, psychoanalysis experts to talk to Trump about this, or to talk to his kids talking about him conceding, I responded saying that they need to send, and this isn't like some little like partisan jab of like, oh, Orange Man bad. This is what I literally think. I said that they should send child psychologists to talk to Melania and Ivanka, to go say, to give them information and assistance on what to talk to this guy about. And the reason being is he seemingly has the actual brain of a kid in his body, which is terrifying to have as the president of the free world. You would have to do things like reverse psychology, which you have to do to kids. And we elected this man for 4 years.
Companies anywhere in the world, greatest labs in the world, but he doesn't trust the fact that it's this White House, this administration. So We won't be delivering
That
it
is
to
not what
New
happened.
York until we have authorization to do so, and that pains me to say that.
Oh,
This
I'm
is a very
sure it
successful,
does. I'm sure it fucking rattles your little black shriveled heart to have to say this. It pains me to say, but Cuomo, the guy I hate, he might just have to wait a little while. What a fucking weirdo. What a mafia boss kid of a fucking sad human being you are.
amazing vaccine at 90% and more. But so the Governor Cuomo, will have to let us know when he's ready for it. Otherwise, we can't be delivering it to a state that won't be giving it to its people
What a brat.
immediately. And I know the people of New York very well. I know they want it. So the governor will let us know when he's ready. He's had some very bad editorials recently about this statement and what's happened with respect to nursing homes and his handling of nursing homes. And I hope he doesn't
What about your handling of the pandemic nationwide?
handle this as badly as he's handled.
I don't defend his nursing home thing. I've called him out for that. I think that was abhorrent and it was stupid and it was a failure. But he isn't the president. You are. He didn't kill 240,000 people. You did.
The nursing homes. But we're ready to provide it as soon as they let us know that they'll actually use it.
Fuck you.
And again, it's a very safe and a great vaccine. Already we have among the lowest case fatality rates our country anywhere in the world, the entire world, and we've performed significantly better than our peer countries. As far as therapeutics are concerned,
by no metric ever, by no metric have we performed better than our peer countries. No metric. They got hit with it just like we did. They got it under control. We never did. In fact, now, when it's how many cases a day? 130,000? It is ballooned out of control worse than when people were already acknowledging that we're not doing as good as our peer countries.
and my administration's also made critical investments in therapies that have helped reduce the mortality rate by 85%. That's, to me, one of the most exciting things. It's incredible, some of the antibody vaccines and others that have come out and have really helped people. 85%. Last month, the FDA approved remdesivir, and we've secured enough remdesivir to treat 850,000 patients. My administration finalized an agreement with Eli Lilly to purchase the first doses of their antibody therapy, which shows amazing results. This treatment will be available completely free of cost to patients. 5,000 units have already been shipped, and many more.
Let me just tell you, it, by God, fucking damn, better be provided to people free of charge. There better not be some fine print. I need to look into this because there better not be some fine print bullshit where people are dying from COVID and they're trying to go get remdesivir or whatever the fuck treatments that there are out there. Treatments, not cures. Treatments. Therapeutics. They better not have some weird bill in the mail from like the fine print of like, well, yeah, it's free of cost, but you do still have to pay the taxes on this or some fucking bullshit, because I am done. Already. First of all, I'm done with people paying for healthcare in this country. This is the only major country on earth where people have to fucking go out of pocket and pay for healthcare, okay? This is the only country. I'm done with that already. What I'm extra done with is even the possibility that somebody has to pay for something to do with this pandemic that is none of our faults, except the leaders who miscontrolled it beyond belief.
Going out the door as we speak. We're also reached an agreement with AstraZeneca for the large-scale manufacturing of their antibody treatment, which is excellent. We expect to issue emergency use authorizations for a number of additional treatments in the near future. Tremendous promise, but remember the 85% number. That's an incredible number, but we have some tremendously promising drugs online and ready to come out. We have ensured that our frontline workers have all the tools they need. My administration's invoked the Defense Production Act and related authorities over 100 times and have made a historic investment into our industrial base. All states that requested PPE from the federal government have received the PPE almost immediately upon request. Every American who needed a ventilator has had access to a ventilator. Think of that. Very complicated piece of equipment.
I actually think that that's factually untrue. I won't interrupt this too long to go look it up right now. I should have looked it up before, but I didn't watch all this. I didn't know what he's going to say. I think that that is also completely untrue. I don't think every single person in the country that needed a ventilator got one. I don't think that that's what happened.
But very expensive.
Especially when we don't even have enough hospital beds.
And we haven't had one person in this whole country that has requested or needed a ventilator that hasn't had it. Every single request has been immediately filled. So that was something that was a great job. And now we're helping the rest of the world with ventilators because it's a very hard thing. We're producing them thousands of ventilators a month. The federal government has 22,000 beds immediately available for states and jurisdictions that need additional capacity. But we think that it's going to start going down, possibly very quickly.
It is ballooning. It's not going down anywhere in the country. It is only increasing. So by your absolute magical thinking, maybe it's going to go down. But in anywhere in reality, it has not gone down at all.
We'll see what happens. But with the vaccine, you'll see numbers going down within a matter of months.
Okay, maybe with the
very
vaccine.
Rapidly. As we continue to combat the virus, our economy is rebounding far beyond any expectations. I see the stock market's up almost 400 points today again, and it's ready to break the all-time record. Our jobs records are incredible.
The stock market reflects on 0 people except the top 0.1%. The stock market is the worst. I called this out under Obama when he tried to pretend that this was making his economy good because the stock market was going so high under Obama. I called this out under Obama. I will damn sure call it out under you. The stock market does not reflect people who work at grocery stores, people who work at hospitals, people who work at the fire department, people who work at schools, people who work any kind of normal working class job. It doesn't reflect on them at all. Even if some of those people own stocks, they don't own enough stocks for this to make it any better at all. I promise you that. The stock market is only the reflection of the wealthiest of the wealthy in this country. So, great fucking indicator there, pretending like, oh, the stock market's going up, that means good economy. That does not mean good economy.
The job numbers are incredible. In the last 6 months, we've created over 13
people have lost
million
more jobs than any time in the fucking
unemployment
U.S.
rate
history.
by more than half. Last quarter, we witnessed the fastest economic growth ever recorded in the history of our country, 33.1%. It's a number that is more than double our highest. That was in 1952, and we've more than doubled it. The United States experienced the smallest economic contraction and the most rapid economic recovery of any major Western nation. We went down less, and we went up more, which is quite a combination of facts. While healthy Americans have gone back to work and to school, we continue to spare no expense to protect the elderly and the vulnerable, according to some estimates.
There you go. That's the fine print right there on that issue. As healthy Americans have gone back to work and school, we have spared no expense to protect the vulnerable. Meaning there's not a mask mandate, there's not a fucking public health mandate in any of these schools. I know. I have driven through the small towns that I've used to go through way more often. None of these schools have any kind of fucking COVID relief. It's embarrassing, actually. They have done nothing to ensure that these school kids are not going to be spreading it around like fucking biological weapons everywhere that they go, including their house, including the stores, including theme parks, including anywhere. So, yeah, you've done a great job at ensuring that it will not get spread to everybody except everyone.
A national lockdown costs $50 billion a day and hundreds of thousands of jobs every single day. Ideally, we won't go
because we locked it down under a Trumpian style rather than a decent lockdown.
I will not go. This administration will not be going to a lockdown. Hopefully, the whatever happens in the future, who knows which administration will be.
Oh my God, there it is. That right there is all we needed to hear. He knows. This motherfucker, he knows.
A national lockdown costs $50 billion. Ideally, we won't go to a lockdown. I will not go. This administration will not be going to a lockdown. Hopefully,
Next administration.
whatever happens in the future, who knows?
You son of a bitch! So thanks for riling up your crazy fuck base that will literally kill for you in this whole time. Well, you know behind the scenes that you're fucking done here. Thanks. Thanks a lot, Trump. It really, as a parting gift to your fucked presidency that fucked the country, thank you so much. We needed it so much for you to keep on posturing like you think you're going to fucking win this when you know it's done. You know you fucking lost. You know that when in 2016 you said your electoral count was a landslide, that Joe Biden got it this time, and you won't say that he even won at all. Thanks a lot for that, buddy. Right there is your concession. What a fucking pussy of a man.
I guess time will tell, but I can tell you this administration will not go to a lockdown. There won't be necessity. Lockdowns cost lives, and they cost a lot of problems. The cure.
Pandemics cost lives.
Cannot be, you got to remember, it cannot be worse than the problem itself, and I've said it many times. And when you look at what happens during a lockdown, I just say it very loudly. It's horrible what happens with drugs, alcohol, depression, loss of jobs, business closure.
Yeah, because we locked it down in your way, where people weren't subsidized with money for the jobs they used to work. I guarantee you, buddy, if you would have had people stay home, and you wouldn't have been such a pussy fucking establishment Republican that you are and pretended not to be, if you would have been Mr. Anti-establishment guy and let them have maybe a UBI, at least for the remainder of the crisis, there wouldn't have been this depression and this despair shit. Half the people I know didn't even get the pathetic little one-time stimulus. No wonder they got depressed. They got depressed because they didn't keep going slaving their fucking lives away, selling the only thing that you get on this earth, time, to a job. That's why they got depressed? No, they got depressed because they couldn't pay the bills, because they were getting evicted from their houses. They got depressed because they couldn't fucking afford their kids' college anymore. They got depressed because of monetary crisis and a pandemic crisis that you failed on both fronts with, my friend. Uh-oh, what happened? Oh, it's muted for some reason. I didn't mute it. Weird.
Depression, loss of jobs, business closures. It's a terrible thing. So this administration will not go, under any circumstances, will not go to a lockdown, but will be very vigilant, very careful. We understand the disease. It's a complicated disease.
Yeah, you did understand the disease, except you lied to everybody about your actual understanding of the disease. Except in behind closed doors in the White House, it has been completely thoroughly reported on that your guys' strategy was herd immunity in a lethal pandemic. Herd immunity only works in a very, very, very low lethality rate pandemic, which this one has higher than average lethality rate pandemic, okay? It's not like you get it and you die 100%, but it is much more lethal than something like the flu. It is much more lethal than something like SARS was. So you knew all of these things, told Bob Woodward this, and yet your strategy was herd immunity. You wonder why people are depressed.
Disease, but we understand it very well.
You understand it
We ask
really
all
well.
Americans to remain
Just lied about
vigilant, especially as the weather gets colder and it becomes more difficult to go outside and to have outside gatherings. And with that, I just want to ask some very talented people to come up and say a few words.
Okay.
General Perna and...
Yep, so we're done here. So, what a train wreck, huh? This man, I mean, like, look at how sad he is, man. Uh-oh. There we go. Look at how sad he is. He knows. He knows, just like he knew about the coronavirus pandemic and lied to us about that, he's lying to us about the fact that he lost, and he knows he lost. He's pretending like this election was stolen. And it turned him into a fucking husk zombie of a man. Oh my god. More than he already was. So, in conclusion here, Trump's fucking insane. Newsflash, hot take, Trump crazy. Another conclusion you could add from this is they're still not doing anything on this pandemic. This vaccine was created completely outside of their control and their enforcement on this. As he alluded to there, this was not part of Project Warp Speed. This was a German medical group that developed this, and thank God they did. But it wouldn't have been because of Trump. So when he immediately tried to take credit on this vaccine, and they said, you didn't develop it, we did. And he's like, it was an unfortunate misrepresentation. That's the truth. Everything that's truthful is an unfortunate misrepresentation to you, isn't it? Everything. Thank God he won't be here any longer. Not like I'm excited about Biden or whatever, but I am very excited that this fucking maniac won't be here in my fucking country ruling things any longer. So, new video coming either later today or more than likely tomorrow. Plenty of crazy shit happening still. I'm hoping to get to, after this horrifying era comes to a close, some much more fun things like playing games for you guys, talking about games for you guys, talking about anime or movies or TV shows with you guys, because I am totally into all of that, just as much as I'm into politics. And I'm going to leave you with that. Hopefully you guys out there are surviving and making it. I know it's harder than beyond belief, trust me. It's just as hard for me right now as it is for everyone else. And I love you guys. Subscribe if you like the video down below. Leave a comment, leave a like. The light is coming.